Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and today on the podcast, I'm welcoming back yesterday's guest, Wendy Reinhardt Kapsak, who is the president and CEO of the Produce for Better Health Foundation. I'm welcoming her back because I split our conversation up into two parts. So before you listen to today's episode, I highly recommend, and it will make more sense if you go back to yesterday's episode to learn more about the Produce for Better Health Foundation and some of the background on what is going on there, what really has been going on there. Today, we're going to talk more about this Have a Plant campaign that the foundation has started and really trying to figure out why people, which may include you and definitely includes me sometimes, even though I'm a personal trainer and the owner of a fitness company, know that they should be eating more fruits and vegetables, but don't always get that done. So I'm really excited to share this second half of the conversation with you so you can learn more about the Have a Plant movement and get inspired by that and hopefully join us. I did create a little challenge for those of you who tuned into yesterday's episode, so I hope you'll join in on that, and I will be joining in on that as well before the weekend comes. So make sure you're following me on Instagram on the Fit Armadillo Instagram account at Fit Armadillo, because that's where I will be going on Instagram stories and then sharing my portion of this challenge with you to hold myself accountable as well. One last thing I wanted to mention before sharing the second half of the conversation here with Wendy with you is that tonight, if you're tuning in the day this episode is scheduled to go live, our fitness instructor, Brianna, is hosting a core workout class. So if you haven't checked that out, head on over to fitarmadillo.com/classes. That's fitarmadillo.com/classes to see what time that will be in your time zone and if there is still a spot. We'd love to have you join us for an efficient, effective workout that you can enjoy from the comfort of home. All right, so here is Wendy and I chatting more about the Have a Plant movement.
And so out of the research that you guys did, the campaign that you've created is called Have a Plant. So could you talk to us more about that campaign and how that can maybe help us get excited about eating more fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, right. So one of the things we found early on was that the people who are eating the most fruits and vegetables every single day, they are feeling these overall a greater sense of happiness, as we mentioned, and this overall life satisfaction. They are also very much a glass half full approach to life. And so they're also looking at multiple benefits, whether it's what you might call immediate benefits. So in the past, a lot of times the way people talked about fruits and vegetables was literally like somewhere down the road, you are probably going to get some type of like super horrible disease, and it's probably because you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, which really is like not motivating at all. People are really oriented around immediacy. And so immediate, we talked about those feelings of happiness or life satisfaction. We also, what we found is those people that are really eating the most fruits and vegetables, they're also tapped into like, it could be about energy to do all the things I want to do. I'm also super interested in making sure that I have a quick memory. And so these are these more immediate feeling types of benefits that are actually what you might call spurring the doing. And so, but what we looked at a lot around, I mentioned consumers. We looked a lot around digital and social media conversations around fruits and vegetables to understand behavior. We also looked at the behavioral science. And so what we found that if we could look at how fruits and vegetables have been talked about and what we could learn from behavioral science, because that's really what we're talking about, major behavior change here, is how could that spur on additional thoughts? And maybe come up with a new campaign around that. So what we found was this concept of know, K-N-O-W, feel, and do. And this is a basic behavioral construct that all of us can probably remember: know, feel, and do. And the way we talked about fruits and vegetables in the past, for example, even the Produce for Better Health Foundation used to talk about these types of know campaigns, K-N-O-W, like 5 a day. A lot of people might remember 5 a day. That was the Produce for Better Health Foundation, the organization we're talking about now. The next campaign they did was something called More Matters. People may be familiar with dietary guidelines for Americans, and the reflection of that is something called My Plate. Eat half your plate fruits and vegetables. These are what we would call knowledge-based campaigns. They are about facts and figures. Half your plate, you should be eating more, and the more is actually 5 a day. So, but most of us aren't super motivated by knowledge. I mean, it's one part of it, right?
Yep.
But it's this feeling, this emotional, how do I feel? And for example, fitness, what's so great about fitness is that you do the activity and you're kind of done. You know what I mean? You've experienced some type of accomplishment and or physical, exhilaration from being fit and accomplishing in a goal, depending on what kind of workout or fitness regimen you're following. Maybe it's 20 minutes or less, maybe it's a little bit more, right? But eating, we have to do that we have to think about that 24 hours a day. In fact, we might make more than 200 food decisions every single day to eat it or not eat it and what to eat. So this is something we have to contend with much more. So now we get into the emotional benefits: happiness, overall life satisfaction. I feel energetic. Believe it or not, some people also mention, and I can say this, and we can kind of joke about it, feeling like they're regular every day, if you know what I mean. That people I say, hey, I feel good. And so the digestive system is working great. So that is the feeling. You know what people also mention, though? They do mention, and particularly a lot of the younger folks we talk to, they really talk about just overall making choices around eating more fruits and vegetables for ethical reasons or sustainability types of reasons.
Hi friends, it's Catherine, and that sound is your halfway point reminder. If you're joining us and using the episode to get in an out and back walk, but only have a total of 15 minutes, you'll want to turn around now, as we are 7.5 minutes into today's episode. All right, back to our conversation.
What we might call not just people health, but planetary health.
Sure.
And so a lot of us have heard about this big trend out there called plant-based or plant-forward, where it's really more about eating less of some things and more of other things. The conversation, though, we believe at PBH, really should revolve a lot around fruit and vegetables. And so out of all the plant foods that you could eat, fruits and vegetables have been shown to improve your health and happiness. And oh, by the way, they're the most significant part of the plant-based or plant-forward movement. They're the plants that we should be eating way more of, and we're not doing. So this concept of have a plant actually spurred from all of that research. And you know what? We talked about planning for the unplanned. It was also the people who, who are most successful, those fruit and veggie, not strugglers, but strong men and women. They have a plan, and it is around having a plan. So this concept is a little bit of a play on words around, hey, here's the plan, have a plan. And what it did also invoke was a greater sense of social and digital share, for example, in social media. And we know from looking at research that plays a role in helping people make good behavioral choices. And so we wanted to capitalize on not just the biggest dietary trend, but also the idea of creating a movement and have a plant. Out of all the taglines and campaigns we tested, that one seemed to really catch fire from a digital and social perspective, but also because people know fruits and vegetables are healthy for them. We don't need to tell them how many or that more matters. That'll always be the case, but we need to give them something to do. And so have a plant really captured know, K-N-O-W, feel, and do.
No, I love that. And I guess now, to me, hearing it is simple, it's actionable. For someone out there who's been so used to the, just knowing what they're supposed to do and having that should part of it, which, I mean, we both know this from trying to change and influence the behaviors of clients or people that we work with, that, just having the knowledge or being told what to do or what you should do is not very motivating. But how does someone that, knows that they should be eating these fruits and vegetables and all this sounds good, like how do they start to make that transition? I mean, we've talked about this a little bit, through other things we've said, but like, what is any advice you have to just empower someone to start, making that change as they're listening and feeling overwhelmed, maybe even after all we've said?
Of course. Well, here's the plan. First is I just want people to know that they can do it.
Mm.
You can do that. You have to do something to experience something.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do have to get over the hump of, can I do this? And the answer is you absolutely can.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to make it simple, and we have to build on, let's say, what you're either already doing, or make sure that you're game to at least have a great initial experience. And so that typically means, what do you already enjoy? And then how can I tweak that and help you experience, let's say, either greater satisfaction or pleasure from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the simple part of it is, at PBH, we believe, or the Pros for Better Health Foundation, we believe that all those forms of fruits and vegetables count. Fresh, frozen, canned, dried, and 100% juice. Whether they are what might be called conventional or organic, they all matter, they all work, and you can make them all work for you, okay? So let's just start there. You have so many choices. Let's not make it overwhelming, but just know they all count for something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's the part that we know we have a lot that we could do. Then the next part is, how do you live your life today, and how can I make some of these things fit in? And I want you to experience great taste and flavor, and I want you to get pleasure from that, so that you want to have another experience just like that, And so the only way you can experience some of that is by doing it. But we can also start with what you like and how you live your life. And so if you're somebody that brunches on the weekends with your girlfriend, for example, or, you're a big Sunday brunch, or you're hosting, guess what? Right now at fruitsandveggies.org, we have and in our newsletters, we have a whole series on brunching. It's the only thing we're talking about for this month. So, if you're somebody that's really focused on social engagement, you're already getting great pleasure from that. That's about how you live your life. How can I integrate that, right? How can I integrate fruits and vegetables into that experience and have you get even more out of that? And hopefully it's great tasting food in the presence of your friends and or family, and then make it really easy for you to do that. Another example might just be, you're always on the go. So in that instance, we may need to say, hey, can I carve out 15 minutes and make sure that I have something fresh cut if I prefer that. Or I only have 15 minutes to create a meal. Did you know that there are frozen bag microwave technology types of bags that we can use, and actually they steam your vegetables fairly decently? We guess what? We don't have to eat them just like raw or something, we can now say, well, what choice out of all those choices, fresh, frozen, canned, dried, 100% juice, which of these fits into that scenario, so I don't miss an opportunity. So different fruits and vegetables, fit different need states. And so when you're really busy and on the go and you have to create a meal in 15 minutes for your family, don't freak out. Just use some frozen bag, bag technology, So we talked about celebratory. We talked about how can I feel amazing and super prideful that I actually did get something green into my kids. And don't be afraid to put a little bit of butter or seasoning on that if that's going to make, if that's going to help it go down easier. That repetitive try, experience, and reflect, and then improve, that's gonna carry you a long way. There's also a ton of like fresh cut items now in a lot of grocery stores. Not everyone's grocery store, but a lot of them. So, for example, you can go into a prepared meal section now and you don't have to, like, it could be bagged salad, for example, but there might be some ready-made salads. There might be some ready-made types of dishes already that are plant forward in terms of having a lot of fruit and vegetables as part of them. So you can really, get some fresh cut fruit, and now you're ready. A case in point would be, you might even be able to assemble things really great. So you get bagged salads, some fresh cut strawberries, you get maybe some slivered almonds, you get a little bit of cheese and a quick dressing, and you've just made a quick either side salad or main dish. Oh, and by the way, you can get a rotisserie chicken and put there are a lot of ways to assemble things.
Yep.
So, a lot of people don't cook anymore, but people feel really confident in their ability to assemble. So there are so many good choices here. We have a ton of ideas on fruitsandveggies.org, or as part of, you mentioned the Instagram feed. We also work with people like you and other culinary and food influencers who also have a ton of ideas. In fact, we have a whole group of our ambassadors in action, and they are like on the ready for amazing tips and tricks. And you can also ask us questions, through our channels so that we can give you some great ideas. The community we've established, they want to eat more fruits and vegetables. Some are strugglers, some are super successful, but they're all after the same thing, and they want to help each other. So we're thrilled to have the opportunity to be out there and have a community that's so supportive.
Yeah, and just a side note for people. I mean, like, I can't encourage people to go to the Instagram page enough, because I think that's the easiest thing for many people. That's why I keep saying it. But like, you can see there's great ideas. But you have on someone else who was at the convention last year, Abby Gelman, who, even as like you said, I think a lot of times we put up these barriers where, we have to cut it up, or that's going to take so much time. And I think, definitely I found, you're going to save more money if you buy the cut thing versus let it sit in the fridge because you quote unquote don't have the time to make it. But watching Abby, and she definitely has better, cutting skills than I do. So she was a little bit more efficient, but I was just so impressed. You put up that barrier that you think it's going to take so long to make a good meal. And, if you actually time yourself doing it, it might not take as long as you think. So there's that part of it as well, right?
I mean, I always go back. There are two people that just came to mind. I had a friend, this quick story. I had a friend named Raina. Raina really wanted to be a crafty mom, and she really wanted to do like all these like amazing crafts with her kids. So she got all the materials and like bins and organized it. And then she took a step back and was like, I am just not crafty, So she just was like, I know myself. I am not crafty. I am probably never going to use this stuff. I need to give it to somebody who really does. Another great influencer of mine, a friend of mine, said, the crisper is where like amazing food goes to die, And so if you know yourself, I think what you're saying is, if you know yourself and, you want to lead a healthy lifestyle, it doesn't, by the way, have to be all, fresh and organic, and it can, but it doesn't have to be like that. And so you have to, one, know yourself, give yourself some grace, and do the best you can. And when you do all those things and you know yourself, I don't even like to cook, for example, let's say, you know what? There are so many choices out there that either can help you assemble or can do all the work for you, and you're going to be better for it. And in fact, you may save money because you bought all this amazing food, and now it's in the crisper, and it went there to go, to die.
Right.
So know yourself a little bit too, and be realistic, right? And like we said, give yourself some grace. Life is tough enough.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up don't beat yourself up over this. But know that there are obviously long-term benefits to eating a healthful diet and leading kind of a healthy, active lifestyle. But there's also these immediate ones. And so don't be afraid also to tap into, if you had a juice smoothie this morning and you feel awesome about that, and that was a way better choice than you had yesterday, good, spirit fingers all around for you, because I think that that's awesome. Let's keep those ideas going, and know that it can be juice. You got a little, juice smoothie in the morning. You have an amazing salad somewhere in the lunch hour. You got your one piece of whole fruit that you actually really like, and it doesn't get too messy for you. And then you have some dried fruit in the afternoon. You make sure that you're kind of getting a few more fruits and vegetables in the mix there. Now, I am here to tell you that those vegetables, they give you feelings of, because we feel like we need to overcome them, vegetables, we have to overcome vegetables, is you should feel an amazing sense of pride associated with vegetable consumption. It instills great pride in us because you know what? We feel like we have to do so much with them. They make us feel smart when we actually like overcome their challenges and get them actually into our bodies. So fruits and vegetables, they're not the same. They are different. They can be indicative of different types of feelings and emotions. So be aware of that. Vegetables, super smart. They take some prep. They take a little bit of planning. So when you get them in, feel amazing about yourself. Take a lot of pride in that. Fruit, it's like joyous and juicy, and it kind of makes us feel some exuberance. And so tap into that. Most people think about fruit in the morning. Gosh, all right, some exuberance and energy in the morning, or as a mid-afternoon pick-me-up, I'm into it.
Love that. So kind of changing it to how you're going to feel is a good way to keep that momentum going once you try, but you have to try first. So don't feel too scared to try.
Yeah. And give yourself grace. Nobody is perfect.
For sure. Well, Wendy, I've loved hearing more about the Have a Plant campaign and what you guys are up to, and checking out social media and just some good inspiration for myself. Do you want to just share with the listeners, anything else that you want to share, I guess, first, and then where they can go and find you for more information and to keep up to date with you guys?
Well, first, thank you for having us on the podcast today. It's a real honor to, after a full year, actually get on the phone and talk with you and your listeners. So thank you for making the time and fitting us in to one of these episodes. I just want to encourage people that we can all do this. We really can. And so we can encourage each other too. And we can also find multiple people who are willing to kind of come alongside of us, I like to call them our sideliners, and keep cheering us on. And so certainly the Have a Plant community is ready to do just that. And so you can go to haveaplant.com. You can also go to fruitsandveggies.org or fruitsandveggies.com, access our stuff. And Fruits and Veggies really is all of our channels. So, just search our channels on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we have Pinterest as well. And so, be inspired and inspire. You have so many ideas too, listeners. So we want to engage with you. We hope you come and visit us. And we look forward to all of us, continuous improvement and, eating more fruits and vegetables, because there is so much benefit in the long term, but the short term too. We can feel something. And so we know they're healthy for us. Let's experience those emotions and feelings, and let's tap into that so that we continue the momentum with what we would call the actual action of it all.
Yeah, no, I love that. Well, awesome, Wendy. Well, thanks again for being on the show. And I look forward to seeing what people are coming up with. Hopefully they'll tag us in their posts so that we can be inspired. I want to be inspired to make new things as well. So
yeah. So definitely tag us, and we'd love to tag you back, and use the hashtag Have a Plant, and let's get it going.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.
Hi friends, it's Catherine. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope you are ready to have a plant. Make sure you join us for the challenge. Go over to the Have a Plant pages, find something that you would like to enjoy or experiment with making some fruits and vegetables this week. Commit to that by tagging me at Fit Armadillo, my business page, in the comments of the picture if you're on Instagram or on Facebook, and then go and create the item, enjoy it before you eat it. Make sure you take a photo and tag me again at Fit Armadillo at the Fit15, and tag Wendy's organization by tagging at Fruits and Veggies. I am so sorry. Fruits and Veggies. You can find all these links and information in the show notes, fitarmadillo.com/podcast, to make sure you're spelling things correctly. But keep us posted. We want to see that you are having a plant. And if you do join in on that challenge, you'll be entered into a drawing for a Fit Armadillo tote to help you carry your fruits and veggies from the market or grocery store or whatever you call your fruit and veggie vending area of choice. All right, guys, I am going to let you go. I hope you get to enjoy class with Brianna later today. All the info on that can be found fitarmadillo.com/classes. If you subscribe to the show, I will chat with you tomorrow. Bye for now. Hi, friends, it's Catherine. And if you are joining us and using the episode as I recommend you do, which is to get in an out and back walk and only have 15 minutes today, you will want to turn around now. If you haven't been doing that in the past, I hope you'll consider it for the rest of the episode or your next episode, because you can definitely increase your health and happiness by getting in even 15 minutes of movement, a walk in a given day. All right, back to my conversation with Wendy.